Hey, this is me having trouble. But anyway, I know you can hear me on this. I got to get it repaired again. Me and these computers. Anyway, I'm talking about Sophia Stewart's book, The Evolution of Consciousness, Matrix 4. Now, she wrote the book in the 80s. She was on my radio show, online radio show, which I realized I had that about 10 or 15 years now. 2010, she was the first time she was on my show. We talked about the Matrix, the fact that she wrote it, and the transgender Wachowskis stole it from her. Okay, so they say they didn't, but obviously they did. She wrote it. Then she wrote this book, The Evolution of Consciousness, Matrix 4, in 2010, which was 10 years ago. The original, called The Third Eye, she wrote in let's see, in the 80s when she was in college. She said she just saw an ad for, a movie, and she was a writer. She's a screenwriter. So, she decided to send her work in. She shopped her work, and they didn't give her credit for it. They just took it from her. They made billions off of it. She also wrote The Terminator. See, The Terminator and The Matrix are the same movie. It goes from one point to the other. It starts off, as the Terminator, and then it goes into the Matrix. The Terminator is when he was a kid, Neo, and the Matrix is when he became an adult. Okay, so you can follow that, but they made it into two separate movies and made billions off of both of them. It's a true story. And since we're dealing with equal rights here, I decided why not talk about this young lady, Sophia Stewart. She's a black lady. She's also part Cherokee. Anyway, she wrote this. She wanted them to pay her. She took them to court. She won recently. I think it was a couple years ago when they finally let her have her copyright, even though she took them to court a long time. But it's a good book. Okay, it's a good book, and it's the truth. It really is. I always copyright my stuff. I used to do TV shows where they would come to me with the poor man's copyright, they called it, where you take your copyrighted stuff and put it in an envelope and mail it back to yourself. That does not work. That's just too cheap. No, you pay the fee and you send it to Washington, D.C., Copyright Office. Now the fee is $125. It used to be $85, but that's worth it. You'll make that money back. It's worth owning something, saying it's yours, it's in your name, your creation. Especially when you work hours and days and months and years on it, you want your credit for it. So the copyright is very important. It's very important. And I think people should understand that and stop with the poor man's copyright. Because when I was doing my TV show, that was the number one problem. They would come on with beautiful music, beautiful books, everything, but no copyrights. So, they were very strict about that. And I kept telling them, no, send it to Washington, D.C., fill out the application. I even told them if they had problems filling out the application, I would help you with it. A lot of these were black people, but they were hard-headed. They wouldn't listen. So I don't know what happened, but that was the only thing about doing the TV show that I didn't like, is the copyrights. So when I found out that she had really wrote The Matrix, I was very happy because the Oracle looked so much like me, and I thought, oh, are they doing me? My family members wanted to know. A lot of them in the judges and in law and stuff. And so I found out. I researched it and found her. I sent 50 or more letters to Warner Brothers to, find out what the Wachowskis had did. They said they didn't know me and blah, 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 et cetera, that it wasn't me. And I come to find out it was Sophia Stewart. That's where they took it from. It was a black woman. And I knew that. I said, something's very wrong about this. And that was for the first Matrix, Matrix 1. And the Oracle was played by Gloria Foster, who passed, not too long. No, it was a while ago. So I was happy to find Sophia. I just sighed with relief because I know I would never let nobody play me unless they're going to pay me. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I'm a little tired of that. Like, I got into it with Pokemon and the character Aura, who was a healer. I wrote them letters even in Japanese. I just don't like that kind of stuff. I don't like people messing with your copyrights. So on here, if I get a copyright strike, I immediately change it because I believe in that. I believe in the law of copyrights. So this is Aura. I hope you can like and subscribe. Sorry I couldn't get the sound to work. Like I say, I spilled water on my keyboard. And then I did some other stuff to it. So I'll be buying me another computer. That's where my stimulus check will go, I guess. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this conversation I'm having about Sophia Stewart. And I might do another show with her. I'm thinking about it. We did at least 2 or 3 shows. But I might do another one, with her. I like her. She's a very wonderful person. Very good teacher about copyrights. Yeah, the Wachowskis were her teachers. They really taught her, so I hope that she gets a settlement, a big one. She asked for millions of dollars. She was also with Judge Joe Brown, who was our in-laws, who was a cousin's ex-husband of mine. But I'm glad he listened because he's a good person too. And so I hope you like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, send it to theaurashow@gmail.com. And I will let you know when I will have her back on my show. Until then, this is Aura Odiba. And see you later. And also thank you, Destiny Kisses, for telling me that the sound wasn't on because I didn't know. I was checking it to see, but I couldn't tell. So thank you very much. And check out Destiny Kisses too. She's got a nice channel. She's a nice person. Until then, Odiba.